Good evening. I have my music too loud again in my ears. I do this a lot. Let's try it. There we go. That's a little better. Either my mic is quiet. I don't know. We're back. I've tested everything. It's all broken. Because why wouldn't it be? I actually figured out my video problem. When I would fire up Among Us, it would get anything but Among Us. The screen was just scrambled to hell and back. And it's something to do with when it goes full screen. And so I launch the game, and then I take it out of full screen, and I put it back into full screen. I will. By the way, Ruby, it's a good thing you're beautiful, because you added things to the Discord and gave me a heart attack. Because if you see over there on the left, where my little me is popping up from Discord, I had to recode that as the timer is counting down. Alright, orange. Okay, Barbie is playing something else right now. Alright, well, got a room. Hey, Ruby. These aren't my settings. What is this? See, I can do... Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's okay, that's okay, that's gonna be 90. That's 175. That's 1, that's 1.5. What got into my settings? what people have against the scientist. I really don't. Yeah. Guardian Angel. And that's as low. Okay, that's as low as that goes. 35. Keep that in mind. Yeah, so 35. Oh darn it. I hate it when it does that. 35. Yeah, okay. Huh. Yeah, happy birthday, Bree. Oh, this should be fun. What do we got? We got keys. Did we lose somebody already? What? Okay, so I'm just looking for Ruby. Because this is just fun at this point, and she's gonna kill me anyway. You go, Ruby. Did we lose you, Bree? Why am I out? Echoey. Let's try it. That's better. This mic is really sensitive. She's a glutton for punishment. That's okay. I'll dish it out. No, apparently not. I'm Ganir. Ruby, why you not moving? You're already sus and we're 2 seconds in. Except you're gonna come kill me, so... That's okay. Really? Wait. Where is it? Oh, vey. Oh, that was easy. Although it's probably not him. Yeah, he's just an idiot. Sorry, Trey. Bradley? Bradley. Okay. It was on public. my own thing. Where's everybody tonight? Come on. Turd. Oh my god. Come on. Tonight we are wrong. Damn it. So let's set the world on fire. Brighter than the sun. Tonight I need to be here. Oops. Alright. Oops. Oh, this is gonna go well. Well, as long as everybody else skips. There we go. I'll just stir the pot. God, she is gonna kill me. Your funeral, dude. Oh. 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 Baby. It's Christmas. I just wish I was Shifter. That, I would do it. Do I feel bad? No. I came to win. Comms is still down. What the fuck? Oh, maybe there's an angel. I thought I had that turned on. Open, you stupid door. Either that or my controller is not working. I need an easy kill. Where is somebody? I think I'm glitched. Where is everybody? Damn it. Because if it was an angel, it should have made the cool noise. But I didn't get the cool noise. I just couldn't kill. I tried. Like hell, too. There we go. That's the cool noise. How you gonna know that they did wires? Where'd everybody go? So... Come on. I think you might be done already, Brittany. Sorry. Unless they're gonna skip. Dumb to skip. It's dumb to skip. Oh, I'm sorry. It's dumb for an imp to skip. Oh. Okay, gotta leave Brittany alive. Actually, all we need is a double kill. Interesting. can't fake it if I'm the only one there. I don't know, waffles. At least I'm an engineer. I love venting. Damn. Not shocking. I like that was long discussion. That bodes well. I haven't seen the auto mod go. Oh, it needs chat. That's right. It's so dark. Ruby! Oh, wait. What? How'd that happen? The none you is okay. Mike is acting funky. What's that? Wait. Ah. On you, baby. Really? Uh-oh. Oh, okay, that was weird. No. Damn. That's right. No, I think they turned and went the other way. Excuse me. Good job, Brittany. No, I wasn't typing. It's the first time I've seen it look like it's dropping frames on the game. I mean, not in the stream, just locally. It's interesting. Oh! Hi, Cyan. God, I hate this song. That'll do. What the hell? Hate that tree. That's a lot of discussion this early. This is great. This is a good group. I like all of you. Oh. It's worth a shot. We're not exactly losing, so... Oops. Sorry. Oh well. It's Christmas. No! Waffles! Oh, there goes Ruth again. She's always in and out. How did they get to 60? I mean, it's not like you have to do anything to get promoted but play, but goodness. Who's Natter? They better not be the other imp. Okay. Oh, Cyan. Ruby. Oh. Ooh, that was close. Fuck! Man, this is going well, Bree. We are gonna clean up. Why is it gotta be yellow? Bruh? Where'd you go? Oh, that's just... I almost feel bad. No. Who's up next? For what it's worth, that's not just an imp strategy for me. I do that. That's my favorite. I mean, if you, why we have to vote, then you should have. Oh yeah, right. Sorry, Diet Yellow. Your number's up. Ooh. Okay, so angels are doing their job. Good for them. Bad for me. Who's Gray? Oh. Let's open it with the usual. Make everybody feel nice and comfortable with all the usual shit to start with. Nice! Oops, wrong button. I do that every time. Beaver apple. I'm not even sure. Damn, everybody leaving. I think that person that we all hated friend requested me. I'm not sure how to feel about that. Doesn't say who the Cubs soda. Oh, there's another one. Wait, hang on. Nope, I don't know who that is. Okay. Who's the other one? Let's see. Cub soda's okay. Rare Skip. Who are you? King Vegan. Alright, sure. Get it, get it. Yeah, King Vegan was kind of annoying. I didn't go out of my way to avoid killing him, that's for sure. He was right. I totally paid tag on him. I was gonna go kill him, and then I saw the little angel floating around him, and I was like, nope, that's not gonna work. I want to get at least one more in. Oh yeah, what was that guy's name? Brown Turd or whatever. The Chungus Mungus or whatever his name was. Yeah, I want to try to get, I really want to try and get one more, maybe two. Hello! If you're from the game we're in right now, welcome. If not, all the more. Well, hi! Carrie Jane. I like it. That's a pretty name. Yeet yeet. We're almost there. I'm gonna try and get one more in. Where is my mouse? There we go. Like the description says for tonight, I want to do. Hey, cool. That's working. That's awesome. I'm so new. I didn't know if that was gonna actually do anything. I got an invite and just figured, why not? So I'm coming up on my 2-hour mark, and if you saw in the description, I want to switch to some chat at 2 hours. I don't have. Last night I had quite a few people. Well, I say a few, quite a few for me, and we got chatting just about general mental health issues and such. And I realized, why not do a little gaming, a little talking, and see if we can make something healthy out of this instead of just fun. I am a local advocate here in West Michigan, and I'm in Kent County, and I am the Sergeant at Arms for the United Veterans County of Kent County. I'm reading and talking. Doesn't work well. I'm the Sergeant at Arms for the United Veterans Council of Kent County. I've also put on quite a few benefits fairs on my own, and I'm doing another one with the Kent County Veterans Coalition coming up here in September. So I've got some resources, and I have a Twitch channel now, so why not? Let's have some fun with it, help people. I mean, that's really what this is all about, right? It's a game, but so is life if you don't know how to play it, right? Now see, I don't know Pimo or Dagger. I'm sorry. I'm very new, so... Oh, they salty. Oh yeah, that's the one I did. Oh, that's the only, well, the only kill. How are there 3 imposters and I'm the only one killing people? Bree, you're dropping the ball over there. Oh, cool. I've been doing this Twitch since like Thanksgiving. I've kind of gotten, well, I had a little group of friends that played Among Us, and it's shifted a few times. Hang on, sorry. But I started playing around Thanksgiving. No, I'm sorry, I started playing earlier. But it was right around Thanksgiving that I kind of went, wait, I have Amazon, which comes with Twitch. If I'm going to play the game anyway, why not stream it and see what happens? And I didn't really get traction with it until last month. maybe a month before. Um, Visor off. And really, I just started it out as fun, but the more I've realized, just from like 2 nights ago, we had a big-ass thunderstorm roll through, and I took, I've got Droid Cam OBS on my phone, um, and I took it outside just to watch the thunder, or the lightning and such, which might happen tonight, if the forecast is right. And then from there, it just got into chat, and we were all just talking about, I mean, not disorders, I hate saying it that way, but just mental health issues, right? We all have something. What, some confirm me in weapons? Yeah, I know, that's awesome, isn't it? Especially since I didn't do it. Oh, this is a good round. I'm not even shapeshifter and I'm laying down bodies. Which is hilarious, because that's another thing that cracks me up, because up until about a month ago, I dreaded being imposter. And then I had one of those, like, entire streams where I was just imposter the whole damn time. And I just got good at it after a while, as you do, if you do anything long enough, hopefully. Otherwise, it's just miserable the whole time. God, I forgot I hate it doesn't count when you're in an event. Oh, who's this? I'm getting a raid. Oh, cool. Thank you, Carrie. That's awesome. This will be my first raid, by the way. So, I guess it's also worth noting, Brutal Barbie, I just call Bree, and she is currently in the game as Cyan. And then not in the chat at the moment is Ruby Waffles. She's on her phone and can only do one thing at a time. So she's pink in the game right now. Where the hell was I when the body reported? Oh, I just left cams. Well, hello. Thank you for being my first raid. Yeah, I know, that was awesome. I stood by them just long enough to make it look like I did it. Mr. Soth, hello. Yeah, I stood just by them long enough to make them think I did it. And really, I mean, no one knows it, but when you have auto fire, asteroids really isn't that bad. And I like this. This is my first raid, so welcome all of you. This is about an hour and 45 in, so depending on how long this round takes, I might do one more. And then I was explaining to Carrie that my intention, Carrie J, okay, that my intention is to do some, I gotta pick somebody, hang on. Oh, they figured out who. Bree, we gotta step it up. They figured out, or I'm sorry, after this I do a little chat if all goes well. Just some generalized, really what's on everybody's mind. But I'm trying to cater towards a little mental health and just stuff that is hard to discuss sometimes. I'm certainly no medical professional, but oh my gosh, have I had my share of therapy and everything. So some of it is just having someone to talk to. Actually, I think a lot of it is just having someone to talk to. So if you don't have a place, you do now. She is about to flip. Why? Why didn't that... There we go. I kill Waffles every time I can, as a matter of course, because we're really good friends, and she's screaming at her screen right now. Really? See, okay, I'm not really into the game, right? I mean, I am, but I'm not. A friend of mine in town makes these. We're still in all 4 seasons at the same time here in Michigan. Like it was 70 degrees today. I'm not kidding. They're forecasting snow this weekend. But a friend of mine makes these, and yeah, the purple I don't think is quite coming through. There we go. And the purple and blue is for suicide and mental health awareness. And so I rock that hoodie everywhere I go. I just happened to be wearing my recruitment shirt. It was Army of One when I joined. I had some yard work I was doing. Unfortunately, this shirt has about as many miles on it as I do, so it's not one that I typically wear out in public. But it's working for the little logo, purple. I was with Red. I was doing tasks. I really should pay a little attention at least. And the other thing, and this is I don't think I hate to say it, but I think this isn't gonna ever change, and it's kind of depressing. Um, there have been occasions where I've been, um, asked why I'm so outspoken about veterans affairs and just our general needs, because I do. I tend to get on a soapbox, and I'm gonna talk until people tell me to shut up. And I always say it. I said, look, I'll stop talking the moment somebody can tell me what the current suicide rate is among veterans of this country every day. You can tell me that number without any Googling, without any, don't phone a friend. Tell me right now what that number is. I'll shut up. No one's gotten it right yet. Not outside of the veterans community. And so I'm going to keep talking, because I think we solve that issue first. Homelessness is also a huge problem, but at least in my area, there are some amazing homeless veteran resources, and I can find a homeless veteran and have them housed and clothed in 3 weeks, tops. There's an organization here called Community Rebuilders. If you happen to be in West Michigan, particularly Kent County, don't hesitate. Go look them up. Since 2016, they've housed 600 veterans in the county alone. 22 a day is the official statistic, according to the VA, if I'm not mistaken. And that number came out in a 2014 report from the VA. What kind of scares me about it is, first of all, it hasn't changed. So even though we're working on it, nothing has been done, or not significant has been done. And that report was only with 20 or 22 states reporting, accounting for 50% of the U.S. population. So, yeah. I think we're gonna get one more game in. Okay, so it's gone down according to the VA's reports. I am a little out of touch with the official numbers, I will admit. Wait, she's not leaving, is she? Hi, thank you. I appreciate every one of the follows. I got out in 13, and a lot of my friends assumed I was gonna get, well, they're still here, right involved in national politics, and expected me to, either love or hate whichever president was in the office at the time, and just be like, a triumph of politics. And I was like, not at the national level. I'm sorry. We all get a vote, but I think I can enact actual change at the city and county, and sometimes even the state level. I've done that, um, and that's not tooting my own horn, but I've done that. I know a lot of the leadership of the cities here and the county here, and my belief is you change home, you fix home. If you can get your city, your township, your county to actually represent the people in that area, you push it out to state. At that point, let the Fed, I mean, don't let them do what they're doing. Don't let them run unchecked. But if you've got your local, your county, and your state taking care of the people, um, the Fed, I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. But at least at home, you know you're being represented and your needs are being met. And in Michigan, we have um, two at the moment, but they're working on getting to six veterans homes. And these are long-term care facilities um, run by the Michigan Veterans Affairs Association, the MVAA. And one of the bigger problems, this is a going out round. But one of the bigger problems at large is because they say this one here home says "Welcome Home for Veterans," the one in Grand Rapids, and to look at it, to not know any better, people think it's the VA, but it isn't. It's a state facility. And so, and unfortunately, it's gone widely unchecked in a lot of occasions because it is a state organization, not a federal organization. Because people don't think, well, you know, it's the VA. What are you going to do? You're going to run and scream and yell and have a fit at the national level. But the truth is, the changes to the vet's home happen here in Lansing. And you can just call your representative, your congressman. I've got both of their personal cell phone numbers for my area. I've got the mayor for the adjacent city because that's where I used to live. And really actually do something instead of just sitting back and going, I don't know what, I mean, it sucks. Well, I just feel a lot more can be done when you focus at home. Um, and look at the little things that you can actually change, and then just roll it. Again, if you get your local level start to fighting for you, and then here's what we're doing here. Here's what we're doing right now. My last good benefits fair was Memorial Day weekend of 2018. One of the American Legion posts hosted. We were elbow room only for about 4 hours. We opened 9 new benefits claims. The poor guy, he couldn't stand up. We had to cater him coffee. And there were 22 vendors, all free. We didn't charge for vendor or veteran, their families or their widows or spouses. And we just opened it up. And we do limit it to veterans and their families and their spouses because that's what we're catering to, and we just don't want, we only have like 4 hours when we do these. And so just to make sure the resources are available to the right people. But the other thing that we do with this is, besides just showcasing resources to veterans, we show them who they are, or each other are, these resources. Because there's quite a few in town where I can go get or I know a place to get housing. I know a place to get food and clothing. I know a place to get transportation. I know that. But some of these places don't know each other. And so bringing them all under one roof together, the veterans get help, their families get help, and these organizations can start to go, wait, a veteran came to me for need A, but I know, or for A, and they also need B, C, D, and E. I know places I can send them now. And then luckily the local news has been incredible about picking it up. and not coloring it, which is amazing. Um, they've done a true to truth report, which is so hard to find. And then in 2018, and this is how I really got looped in with city and county leadership, or city and state leadership. I invited the local mayor, state representative, and state senator. And I said, look, I want you guys here, and I want you to be quiet. You're fine, Bree. I'm not paying any attention anyway. Um, and I want you to be here, but I want you to be quiet. I want the veterans and I want the resources to see that their government cares. And I want their government to see the people in their community that need help. And if somebody talks to you, of course, and then, introduce who you are, but you're not getting a booth. You're not getting, a special name to you. Wear a jacket or something that's got your name on it. But I've been imp now for whatever. I didn't even read most of the chat. I just voted for somebody. Because I'm gonna get off Among Us and after this round. Um, so many so many people from the raid are. If you're sticking around or if you're new from somewhere else, I really appreciate every one of you. I'm very new to having people watch. Um, but it was a great benefits fair. We took, I think, two. And by the way, volunteer driven. The one in 2018 was four of us working together. Two of us spearheaded it, and we worked out of like my living room here, and um, pretty much it was my living room and Facebook Messenger. We did a lot of coordination through Facebook Messenger. Um, then 2019 circumstances, what they were, we didn't have the volunteer time, and so we just didn't put one together. We attempted one in the middle of the quarantine in 2020, and if I have to tell you how that went, um, I mean, we put together an event, but the turnout wasn't there. Um, and then similarly with 2021, well, that was more personal for me. I'm coming out of a divorce, summer of 2020, and I was just getting my feet back underneath me. Um, and okay, learning new things. Um, so 2021, we just kind of again took a step back. Had matters of my home I had to take care of. It was um, what's the veteran Venn diagram? Eventually, you end up divorced, bad credit, and homeless. Well, 2021 was the year I got the trifecta there. Um, and quite fortunately, I was put up by a good friend. They converted part of their garage, so I was homeless, but I was not without shelter. And so 2021 was just a reset year. I'm 41. I've never lived on my own before. But this year, the West Michigan Veterans Coalition announced that they were doing a benefits fair, and I kind of went, "Ooh, me. I need to get involved because I have like 2 pages of resources that I want to bring to the table, and they have connections and a budget, which means we'll actually have some advertising before the event. We'll actually be able to get the word out, maybe a flyer or two. Last time it was 90% word of mouth. I had a radio channel do a couple of PSAs the week of. Their One of the owners is a son of a veteran, and so very supportive. And so they did some PSAs for no charge. If you're in the area, Jethro FM is working very hard to be your third favorite radio channel, and I highly suggest you support them. Um, and that's not a plug. That's just they've taken care of me, so and the veterans in general. So I recommend heading over that way and seeing what they can do. Um, so 2021, we've got it's the third weekends of September. I want to say it's September 24th or 23rd or 24th, whatever that Saturday is. And we're going to bring out food. And we're this time, instead of being at a Legion post, nothing wrong with a Legion post, by the way. We were grateful to have them host it. But just down the road from here is a National Guard post. And they're hosting it this year. So we've got a full gymnasium, um, and it's gonna. Again, nothing wrong with it being at a Legion, like at all. I'm a Legion member myself. I used to be Legion officer, but in every attempt possible, I try to avoid bias, and there are so many VSOs out there. I don't want to have it at a Legion and make it look like I'm biased against a VFW or an AMVETS or etc. etc. So I always try to play neutral ground, um, neutral on issues, because that's another one that people have asked me. The few times I'm doing anything official, most of what I do is volunteerism, but the few times I've ever been anything near official, they'll say, "So what's your stance on, what party are you affiliated with, or what's your um, religious beliefs?" And while we are all allowed to have, and really encouraged, I encourage everybody to believe what they believe and feel what they believe, feel what you feel. We are individuals. We are humans. We there's a certain amount of just, we are who we are. I don't say any of that when I'm doing advocacy work, because the moment I say I am on one side of the aisle or the other, without meaning to or not, you alienate the other side. There's a lot of, it's very easy to be divisive right now, and so I attempt to avoid any bias in my own volunteerism. So I like the idea that we're having it at a National Guard post, because if you're talking about helping veterans, first of all, every last one of them are, even though they're still currently serving. Um, what do you get that seems more veteran neutral than a facility? Yeah, Ruby's gonna need some help. There almost needs to be like an evil angel option somehow to go along with the guardian angel, because she's screwed. In fact, I should go find her real quick. I can talk and use the controller at the same time. Maybe. If you're watching, Ruby is a very close friend of mine. Ruby Waffles here. In fact, she's going to be a roommate this week. And then Bree, how did you find? Were you? I have incredibly problems with short-term memory. Were you one of Miz's friends? Is that how you found us? Oh, she's shapeshifter. Oh, she might actually have a chance. I'm sorry, Bree. I can't remember if you were a random follower or someone who found me, as this raid was, or if you were one of Miz's friends. I can't remember. For that matter, I don't know where that. Miz, I got my first raid. I'm part of Team Military on Twitch. They had given me an invite 2 months ago, and so I added it to my channel, and I need to scroll, because we don't wear name tags anymore in real life. Carrie J dropped in and said she knows one of, if it was if founder or organizer would be the right term. And Carrie, if you're still here, please help my brain out, of the military channel. And she said, hang on, I'm gonna go get you some people. And they dropped in with a rate of 5. And it looks like they're still here, or at least a large portion of them. And so Miz, you and I chatted for a little while last night too, and I've talking to, of course, Waffles, because we know each other in real life, and Bree's been in the Discord. So I'm shifting my format a little. I'm gonna do 2 hours a game and then like an hour of chat, and I've already gotten started really on the chat, because I've been imposter like 3 rounds in a row, and I just up until this last round, I was able to kill and talk at the same time and had a fairly good rate going. And it's also coming up on the 2-hour mark. So, yes, I did kill, but I'm not dead. I got voted out. Close enough. Actually, Miz, have you gotten the weather at all? We're supposed to be getting some pretty boomer storm overnight. They're talking about heavy winds and rain, and she survived to the last imposter, though. I'm proud of her. I don't know if she was just the less sus of everybody else out there, and that's what happened, but hey. Good game, Ruby. tight. Alright, so I'm gonna back out of this room. My friends will figure it out soon enough. Maybe. And I need to bring up, give me 2 seconds. I've got like 3 different screens rocking over here. Otherwise my brain can't keep up. Okay. And I'm just gonna, let's see, what scene have one on with a camera? I do not. Oh, that doesn't have the rest of the overlays though. I'll leave this up for now. Just because I really just started doing chatting last night. Speaking of, I need to change my channel description. I just really started doing the chat a little bit last night as a coincidence. We just like simultaneously lost interest in the game we were playing, and there just really wasn't a good group, and that can make it unfun as well, or unpleasant, whichever. So we just started chatting, and I haven't put together a good screen for that yet. Can I do multiple categories? No, not there. Okay. So we'll just do this. We'll throw that in there. And so that's just what I'm going to try and do for a little bit here. I don't know if there's going to be any interest. And really what I want to do is I want to hear from people so that, and I don't mind hearing myself talk. I'm good at it. I've lived alone for a while now, so the voices in my head just spill out my mouth when moments like this. But I want to know what people want to talk about. My description on my channel is only, they only give me such a blurb to work with. I am medically retired from the military, from the Army. I did 6.5 years, tore all the cartilage out of my right knee, was dumb enough to go through 4 right knee surgeries. Rose, it's not my choice. I don't get to pick. I've been through 4 failed right knee surgeries. 3 of them I was dumb enough to let the Army do on me at Fort Bliss. So if you understand just how dumb that sentence was, thank you very much. I'm your guy. I've also been diagnosed with bipolar and PTSD, and have spent the better part of a decade in and out of various, therapy, not like, not committed, just in and out of the VA system, a couple of civilian doctors along the way. And, well, to quote Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer, I have a microphone and you don't, so you're going to hear everything I have to say as long as you're going to stick around. Oh my gosh, 10 scientists? Barbie, that's brutal. Save yourselves. So I really want to know if there's like a particular topic, because I'm not trying to limit anything, but my focus is going to be obviously on Veterans Affairs. If you've served, you understand it becomes part of your DNA. It's not something that just turns off. Oh yes, please take care of my bestie. She needs help. If she gets imposter, it's just gonna go down badly. The poor thing. She will apologize to everybody in the room that she kills after the fact. It's glorious. But I was 88 Mike. I drove the Het, the M1070 M1000 heavy equipment transport system, delivering 70-ton packages of freedom. Did 15 months in Iraq, 07-08. as that goes, I say I had a very boring time. I never saw contact, never had to load my weapon. Um, Respect for all of those that took direct contact at some point or lost somebody they were there with at the time. I have lost a good friend since. He was on a deployment to Afghanistan, and it was 2013, somewhere just outside of Kabul. His Humvee was hit, and all five were killed. Um, in fact, there's a music video, and I'm gonna end up trying to find a way. I'm gonna get permission to feature it on my channel. I think it's by Five Finger Death Punch, and I think they intentionally did make this one to raise awareness for what Memorial Day is. They've done another one, basically what Veterans Day is, but the one they did in Memorial Day, and I mentioned that because we're coming up on it. One of the characters in the music video um, comes back wearing a couple of these on his wrist for some guys that he had lost of his own. And in the comment section, I had posted, and this is, there's thousands of comments on this. And I asked where these can be acquired, and it came from an Etsy store actually, which I should probably post. And I don't know if this is gonna. My webcam is and lighting is only so good, but this was for my friend Joe Rodriguez. He was a team leader of mine for a while, and Joe was one of those guys that everybody just knows. In fact, my ex-wife knew him before I even had a chance to introduce them. It was just, she was like, "Oh, you got to meet my friend Joe," and I was like, "What? You mean my team leader? Joe, this is my wife, but you guys apparently know each other already." That was Joe. He was just that every person. Um, he was your best friend when you were right, and he was your worst enemy when you were stepping out of line. And he had no problem being your worst enemy. I mean, but that's my tour when I was there for 15 months. There wasn't any of that. And the Het is the safest combat vehicle we've got in terms of persons lost in the vehicle during combat. We've only had one casualty in Hets. That happened 04, 05, and it was a buddy of mine, Bliss, not the Post. That was his name. Um, Again, it was 04, 05. It was before I joined. It was his previous tour. Sergeant Gill, rest in peace. His Bliss's team leader. The Het got hit and caught fire. Um, they weren't initially injured. It literally was one of those instances where the vehicle just caught fire, and as casual as that sounds to those in the military, it may sound severe to everybody else. It just caught fire. It's just a little. But Gill's combat lock was jammed, and he couldn't get the door open, and it was to the point where by the time Bliss got to the ground and looked back, he realized what was going on, but the truck was already too engulfed, and he had to watch him go. That is the only, as far as I am aware, and because I haven't kept up since 2012 or so. I got out in early 13. But I don't think that number changed drastically. That, first of all, that truck's not exactly something you target, because it's not a primary. It's a support vehicle like the day after, and we're not really a combat asset. We're not a fighting asset. So to target a Het is, in a sense, to waste your ammo. That, and we're the size of a county, so our convoys end up being massive. I mean, I think we had, because we were always attached with, they always threw civilian convoys along with us, but there would be 50 to 80 vehicles in the convoy. If you were going to attack that, go ahead. I'm going to take video. But my 15 months were mostly uneventful, other than the constant threat of mortars. And I think that's kind of what gets me. You know better at some point. You can't do anything about a mortar attack. You're certainly not going to try and catch the darn thing, and there isn't much you can do for shelter from it because you don't know they're coming. Um, but what between being a truck driver, between being the constant mortars, and some genius, I think it was Raytheon. I know it was one of the military contractors that does like MI kind of programs. They'd come up with this new thing that they had titled "Every Soldier is a Sensor," with the idea that if what was happening in real time could get to the powers that be quicker, then intel could be, more more widely disseminated. Decisions could be made at a faster pace, so that we weren't being so reactive. We could actually be proactive about what needed to happen. And I like all of that in principle. Um, in practice, what happened is they taught us how to notice everything, down to the most minute detail. And you might think that'd be great, like, if I see somebody and I'm asked to give a description, hey, you saw so and so 10 minutes ago, or there was, we're trying to get a description of somebody that came into the store, for example. Um, I saw them. I'm sure, if I was, if I was around them, oh yeah, I saw him. It's kind of like the game, for crying out loud. It's one of the reasons I struggle with this, actually. I saw him. I saw him in infinite detail. I knew everything about them when I saw them. But if I don't identify them as a threat, it flies right through. Um, so it's twofold a problem. First of all, I am acutely aware of everything that happens around me. I hear, I see, I smell everything on a level that I never really wanted to. It's kind of cool. Um, there are moments where it comes in handy, and certainly I've got 4 children, and there are moments where that has come in handy. But the downside to that is because I only care to keep, what's pertinent, what could be important for um, the events at hand, the circumstances at hand. I've gotten really good at letting things fall through, and I have some sort of short-term memory damage. The VA attempted to do some testing. Of course, they shot me with every sort of X-ray, MRI, CAT scan they can have, because that doesn't require any thought process. It's just push a button and scan, and there's no damage. Um, Neuropsychology, I made them giggle because at one point they came out with their test results and they said, so there's one in particular where they like they read off a list of words several times and you're supposed to recite it back. And I knew that was going to be the test that I was going to fail. And I did. Well, there's no real pass fail. It's just an evaluation of capability. And I knew I was going to be very poor at it. But what they said, and this woman had a PhD. She was the head of this team. And what she said is, because it's repetitive, they do the list 3 to 5 times, and then different manners of giving the list. Sometimes it's in pictures, sometimes it's read out loud. That most people, when tested, do this, and they improve over the iterations of the list. Mine was literally a sawtooth pattern. Her words, and I'm going to quote, were, there was no discernible pattern as to what you would remember and would not remember. And I said, well, that's fantastic. Well, so what does that mean? There's obviously some damage to my memory then, right? And she goes, interestingly enough, no. Because, it was a battery of tests. That was just the one I struggled with the most. And they said from their observations, interestingly enough, my memory is completely intact and functions at a very good level. I have some sort of disability, damage, whatever term you want to use. I can't encode memories. I can't write them like I should. So it's not that I have any problem recalling what I have stored. Um, it's the writing of new memories. And it's a short-term bubble. It's really weird, which apparently they said is typical. But if you want me to remember something, ask me in 3 months, 6 months. I'll have it in fairly good clarity. Ask me something that happened yesterday. Ask me what day it is now. Ask me what I'm doing next week. No. So I've got Google on my wrist. I've got Google on my phone. I've got Google on every one of my laptop and desktop computers, and they're all linked. And somebody will say, "Hey, so what are you doing such and such day?" If it's not on my calendar, if it's not on a reminder on my phone, it doesn't exist because I can't rely on my own memory anymore. Um, and really, what's frustrating about that, I had probably a better psychological team in the army than there was any business for us to have, because I know mental health is hard to afford, it's hard to find, and in the military, mental health care, even when I was getting out in 13, was still stigmatized. You didn't go for mental health. You didn't. It meant you were weak. But I had a psychologist, a phenomenal woman, and a psychiatrist who was equally as qualified, and they had put me on, and this has been a fight. 15, 8 guard. Oh my goodness. That's that's just weird. Barbie, that how does that work? But they put me on it was a prescription, but it's not a medication. It's a prescription supplement. It's called Serafulin NAC. It's typically given to patients with Alzheimer's. So, as you can imagine, it worked out very well for me. It didn't. It wasn't a cure. It wasn't as simple as an on-off switch. It wasn't. There weren't binary states. But it improved. I definitely felt that I was struggling less to go through some of the mundane. Um, there's even some things on my list that most people would consider, gee, you just don't do that on a daily basis. I don't always remember to. Um, and the Serafulin was working. I was on it for about 3 years. And I was also one of the first, I'm trying to remember, there was, of course, it's military, there was an acronym. But there was, prior to my getting out, somewhere in 11 or 12, it used to be you separated from service and then you were evaluated by the VA for disability, and those were separate timelines. Um, about 6 months before I started my med board, they had changed the program so that as you were getting out of the Army, you were already being evaluated by the VA. It was a simultaneous process. And and so you had your ratings letter before you even separated from service. You had your compensation and pension evaluation. You were still on active duty, or reserve or guard, whichever applied. In my case, it was active duty. Um, and so my med list is on there. My diagnoses were in there. The VA really just needed. Hi, I left a while ago. It's 2 hour mark passed. Um, so all I was looking for out of the VA was continuation of care, right? My diagnoses were done. My um, prognosis was, whatever. All the courses of care were set, but the VA doesn't carry Serafulin NAC. And I had my psychiatrist here with VA agrees with my diagnosis. She agrees that I should be on Serafulin, and she will even prescribe it for me. But the VA doesn't carry it, and I'm fighting also with TRICARE because all of a sudden they've decided to change my prescription coverage and don't cover it. With a discount card from the VFW, it's $3 a day, and on a limited VA income, that's prohibitively expensive. So I've been out for since 2013 without that supplement. I haven't had it at all. Um, and so what I'll tell people sometimes is I can remember just well enough to know that I used to remember better. And it's a kind of empty, there's this it's not tangible, of course, because we're talking about memory. You can't um, physicalize memory. There's this gap, this blank, and I can feel it. I know it's there. It's constantly this presence of there should be something in this space. I should be able to recall, and it's a kind of a rolling gap. And once whatever happens in our brains that turns short-term memories into long-term memories, that part works. at least with about as much reliability as it works with anybody. There are things that not everybody remembers every moment of their life. There's a condition that where you actually can, but that's the exception to the norm. Um, so my long-term memory works about as well as anybody's does. My short-term memory is incredibly hit and miss, but more miss than hit. Um, so in the middle of all that, and in the middle of meeting new veterans since being out and becoming a member of several veterans communities, Legion, VFW, and a county level. Um, I'd mentioned earlier, I'm now I think 5 years in. I'm the sergeant at arms for the United Veterans Council of Kent County, and so I've gotten acclimated and ingrained into the veterans community here, and I've tried to do a lot of work, and I think I am. Um, but in doing that, I've realized, despite the fact that my credit is shot, I need a cosigner to pay cash. I've got the DD 214 and the divorce now to go through this veteran Venn diagram, the trifecta that the meme that goes around if you see the memes on social media. And despite all of that, I have a house. Well, I rent, whatever. I have shelter. I'm clothed. I'm fed. I've got kids, and I've got a car that's paid for. And Carrie, and I've realized I'm incredibly fortunate among most of the veterans I meet. They don't even have that. A lot of them have been out 10, 15, 20 years and still can't get their claims started. And I went, this can't be. Yeah, I've got some stuff that I would benefit from having improved. Right? I mean, really, I think that most of us can say that. But how could I stand here, sit, and I'm young in veteran circles. I'm going to be 42 next month. That puts me young. I walk into even my council meetings at the county level. I'm young by a decade on the next oldest person and 2 to 3 on the rest of the council. And I want to know that in 20 to 30 years, if I'm still struggling with my claims and my coverages and my, things that the VA should be giving me that I'm still fighting now, I want to know there's somebody coming up. And I've always been of the belief um, that if that's something I want done for me someday, then I better be willing to do it for those that are here today. Because otherwise it just feels incredibly hypocritical to me. And so when I have done better benefits fairs, or when I do work with the council, or if I this stream, for crying out loud, if it becomes a more regular successful thing, my standard has always been, did I help one veteran that day? Did I help one veteran with that event? Then it was a good event. I'm not trying to save the world in one shot. It's admirable to think that we can enact wide scale change, and I believe one person can make a change. But I believe that starts with one person, and then the next person, and then the next person. You don't bite off. It's overwhelming. If you look, I don't care what your community is. If you start to really look around, see how many people need help, it's frightening. And one person can't fix a city or a community or a demographic or whatever, however you ever want to quantify the people that need, but you can help one, and tomorrow you can help one, and tomorrow you can help one, and they'll help one, and they'll help one, and after a while you start to enact wide scale change. But you don't do it, I'm going to get up tomorrow and I am going to champion whatever interest group or whatever your cause is. You don't get up tomorrow and decide you're going to be the force that changes that entire desire, that entire need. You're please don't change your energy level. That's great, but there's reasonable expectations, and it's too easy to get defeated, and then you end up in a cycle where maybe you're a little defeatist. Tried really hard, and I did everything I could do. Doesn't look like I made a difference at all. Carrie, I believe Nightbot just did me a favor and put my Discord up there. I just set up that today, actually. So I'm glad I did. The coincidence or divine intervention or whatever it is that brought that to be. Literally, I set that up. Oh gosh! So I started streaming at midnight Eastern time. I think I had that running at 11:30, 22:30 or 23:30. Um, so I'm glad it is. Um, Thank you, Miz. That was on her direct advice, by the way, for setting up the Nightbot. I do. I like to, the other side of that. There's because I may and the other thing I tell people. So yeah, you help one person at a time if you're looking to help people or make one whatever it is. Whatever if you've got this, I want to be a doctor. I want to be whatever it is. You know where you're going, right? You don't wake up tomorrow and you're there. Um, no matter how well you know where you want to be, it's a process. So bite off a reasonable chunk. Look at okay, I'm one person. I've got one day. What can I do in that one day? If you start looking at I'm one person, and the things I want to do are going to take years. How am I ever going to make a difference? How am I ever going to see progress? Look at what you can do in a day, just the day. Um, but at the same time, absolutely know where you're going in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. Because if you don't know where you're going, you won't ever get there. Um, you have to have a direction. And so, one of the long term goals for me, and this is when I toss around because the more I get involved in the veterans communities in my area, it may end up being redundant, and so I may shift and become um, and work along with what's already been established. But prior to knowing some of what the resources were, I had a rough desire to start a nonprofit of my own, um, and I had a name and it went through my head already. But I was going to do a twofold, and the one was basically the half of it was basically going to be a lot of what I've talked about already with benefits fairs and bringing resources together and showcasing what's available for veterans and their families, and the other half was going to be a little more direct intervention. Um, I will admit, a failing of mine, I don't do well one on one. If you come to me and you need your claim fixed and you've got these problems in your life and you have legitimate problems, I'm not your guy. I'm sorry. I'm not it's not any sort of it's not an ability I have. I don't work well in that environment. And even if I did, it's a little naive to really there are so many great organizations, at least in my area. Why am I reinventing the wheel? Why don't I get you to where there's a whole community, a whole charity, a whole organization dedicated to what you do? And so that kind of works for me. I don't have to put myself into an environment where I don't do well. Um, but where the closest I do to one-on-one help is I like to equate it to being Doctor House. If anybody's not familiar with that show, go immerse yourself in a couple episodes. It's hilarious and yet dark. But he's a diagnostician, and he would only take the cases that were unwinnable or unsolvable or um, that just wouldn't win. The person's dying of some mysterious thing, and there's been nothing that can be done, tested, or solved. When a veteran's case in that level, that severity, comes to me, those are the ones I take on. And I have a small team of people. Um, the last one actually came to me through my friend Ruby, who you'll see here in the likewise, Carrie. I try to stream now almost every night at midnight, exceptions of weekends. And I haven't published a schedule because my life isn't that well set, but that's my intention. Um, Ruby directed me to the last veteran that I really gotten a lot of involvement with as far as intervention, and without going into the whole details of it because it's a stream by itself, unfortunately. The kindest way I can describe this man's situation is he had been farmed out to a long-term care facility that didn't have the decency to let him die, and they were milking the family for $6,000 or $7,000 a month. Um, we were able to get him out of the facility. We were able to get him home, but he's never going to walk or talk again. And he's a Vietnam era vet, 100% disabled, and he's got partial. You can only see out of one eye, like a bit. Um, and I've told people a couple, even when I make connections along the way, in order to help a veteran in that situation. Even as I build a network, I'll say, look, I'm glad that I'm able to help. But if anybody asks you how this went, or who helped, don't you dare mention my name. I do not want to be known. And it's twofold. First of all, I really don't. I don't do any of what I do for recognition or praise or any of that. I don't. I could care. Um, but the other side of it is, this Twitch stream probably isn't going to do anything good for me if this ever becomes successful. I can't do what I did for that veteran for any of the other ones if I did it all from phone and email. It was worked that way because it was in the middle of quarantine. But I do what I do through phone and email and text, so that when the next veteran case comes around, no one knows who I am, and they don't slam a door in my face because they know who I am. I'm able to work out of the shadows, kind of a Batman situation. No one knows who I am. I could walk into the facility that I rescued this last guy from, and they have never seen my face. They have no idea who I am. And I can't do that if people are championing my name around, saying, look at this guy, he did this, that, and the other. I don't, first of all, I really don't want that. That's so not, please don't do that. I couldn't express to you enough how much I don't want recognition. But it also, again, it hampers my ability to help in the way that I help. Um, Gaming and mental health mission. I like that. Yeah, I want to do a C3, and C19 at the very least, because that's the government. Like a VSO, I want to get registered as a VSO if I go down that road. So that gets you can become eligible for city, state, county funding if you have need to. You can try to get on a line item. Sorry, 2 seconds. Time is it? Ruby was shooting me a text. She's about to drive home. Send you turd. Thank you. So, yeah, C3. First of all, I've worked with C3s before. It was outside of Veterans Affairs. If you give me a C3, I will move mountains. It's good, Barbie. I'm good with being background. I'm been told I have a face for radio, so there's no problem with that. If you give me a C3, I will move mountains. C3s, when enacted properly, when used to their potential, it's amazing what doors will open. And so I've done work with the C3 before. I want a C19 so that ideally I could get on a line budget somewhere, even if it's just 1/2 of 1% of a city or county's budget, just a little stipend or millage. And then I had intentions of when I was doing my civilian work in that time when I was working with the C3 was in STEM education. Um, it's another one people will sometimes ask me, what's your hobbies? What do you do? Well, I do home remodeling. I can rebuild a car from the engine up, and I built every last computer I'm using in my house. So if you can unify that into an answer, I'd like to hear it because I haven't really come up with a good "this is what I do" pitch. So STEM is probably a closest thing you get to saying that. Um, and so in that instance, I was looking for a C4 as well because C4 is the educational nonprofit. Um, and if in the middle of all of this I ever come up with what could pass as free time, I am considering using my GI Bill for what was I looking for? Business law with a specialization in nonprofit, or whatever exact language they use for that kind of a degree. I would like to have a degree in business law and nonprofit law so that I could ideally get a nonprofit rolling and not just be a guy who happens to be, hopefully at that point, considered successful. I could actually have some qualification on paper. It doesn't. I'm not that guy either. I don't care what you put on a piece of paper. I care what you do. But there are circles where if you don't have something behind your name, or a certain certification, or a qualification that is documented, the doors don't open as easy. So I have a desire, not huge, but a desire to at least pursue some of that. But that's more in my 5 year plan. That's not a I'm going to call a college recruiter tomorrow. I'm not in that position right now. It'd be a disservice to myself. Oh, excuse me. Probably should drink water instead of pop, but there's water in there. So I mean, this is amazing. I haven't. First of all, you're my first raid. Second of all, looks like a good portion of those of you that came in the raid are still here. If Twitch isn't lying to me. And second of all, I started this because I like Among Us. It's quite literally what got me started on Twitch. Um, and so I'm gonna kind of wrap up me. I'm not gonna keep blabbing tonight because I've only got about 20 minutes left into what I would schedule for a stream right now. I'm trying to do my intent um, is 2 hours of gameplay with Among Us, and there's no reason there can't be ongoing chat going at the same time. But for me, I want to do about 2 hours of gameplay with Among Us because each round is about 15 minutes, so that gives me enough to have fun. And then I want to do an hour of this format, where ideally some topic is posed among the chat, or perhaps gets to the point where Mondays we discuss, Tuesdays we discuss, and so on. Each day has a preset topic. But I want to do 2 hours of play and an hour of discussion. So tonight happens to be the first night I'm trying that out, and here you all are. Um, Again, so divine intervention or fate or whatever it is that you subscribe to for things like that coming together. Here we are. First night trying a couple of things, first night for a raid, and I think from where I'm sitting, it feels quite successful. It feels good. Um, every other weekend, and this being one of those weekends, I have custody of my 9 year old, and I am working on, and will always appreciate input. Miz has been good for input. I want to get her a stream going. I mean, with me, I want to get her on stream. She's been very eager to see how this works and what goes on with it. And I don't shelter my kids from things that should be healthy. And there's absolutely no reason why a Twitch stream, especially with the way world the world changed with quarantine and COVID, where the world is shifting to online, and there are YouTube celebrities now, and that conversation would have been somewhat humorous 5 years ago. So I want her to see this. I want to expose her to how this should look if Dad can't make it a healthy, safe environment, then the world's not going to do much better. Um, but I have my childhood Super Nintendo that my brothers and I got when I was 11, and it's still sitting right back here, hooked up to my TV. And right now, her favorite game in all the world that I'm aware of is Super Bomberman 2. And so I want to try to get like every other weekend, Saturday at noon, and this is a bit of a spitball still, where my 9-year-old and I can play some Super Bomberman, or I think I've got Super Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4. There's a handful of cartridges I still have. Um, at the moment, it's going to be aim webcam at TV and have you all just generically or generally watch us, and I probably won't be directly involved with chat because I'm going to be playing the game. So that would be more of an observational stream than a participation stream. Um, but that's something probably every other Saturday where I'll just put together a little 1 or 2 hours that she can sit and participate in this community. Um, and any input, any feedback, I greatly appreciate. Nightbot's been in a couple of times, but because I am getting closer to wrapping up, and there are still quite a few of you that haven't stopped listening to me talk, I'm gonna throw the link to my Discord up. And this Discord, I've built it for my Twitch, for my stream here, and it's gonna grow and evolve as need be. But I want it to be the offline portion of this, what I'm hoping becomes a community. So if you're like, hey, there was that thing that Sublime was talking about. Hey, I'm Jesse. I'm not hard to find on the internet. There's really no point in hiding my name. Um, but there was that thing that we were talking about on the stream last night or 2 nights ago, and I can't remember exactly what they were talking about, or I had something more to contribute. Hop on over to the Discord. That's what that's going to be there for. Where we can, I believe in community strongly. I believe in team. I believe in cooperation and coordination. There's an I in team, but it's hiding in the a-hole. So the more we can collaborate and get together and just support each other, that's what I want. That would make me incredibly happy to just spur on something that can snowball and have its own life. So hop in the Discord. That link should be one of the non-expiring type if I did it right. And Nightbot will pop in a couple of times through my streams and remind everybody that it's there. And Miz is going to teach me quite a bit more. I know that already, but I didn't get that set up. She told me about it last night, 2 nights ago. Yeah, something like that. And I got it set up just prior to the stream. So the fact that it's doing that much already is an accomplishment for me. Yes, there's Miz. By the way, she is amazing. Been incredibly supportive. I don't know how to do, I don't have a shout out command set up yet. Go check her out. Just even give her a follow. I know for us, first time early streamers here on Twitch, just the follow actually makes a huge difference to our channels, even if you're not going to be regular. There's been a handful of times, and Ms. knows this, where I'll get her go live notification. I'll click on it because that's tracked. I'll stop in her chat and say, hey, it's good to see you, Ms. I got some stuff going on today, but I wanted to give you the visit because it tracks that. And sometimes that's it. That's enough to actually impact a change in somebody on Twitch like myself, where those kinds of things are tracked. If you want to progress, if you want to grow your Twitch community, you have to have a Twitch community. And so sometimes just a quick click through makes a huge difference. So in fact, this tonight is going to be a milestone for my Twitch progress, because I needed one of my landmarks. If I can find the darn thing, I needed to have at least 5 people chatting at the same time, and I think we hit it. And I haven't. That's one I've been. that's one of the last ones I've been working on. As far as general followers aren't going to be terribly hard because again, you just have to hit the little button and then you can leave. But to get chat going um, has been a little more complicated. I need 5 for my next milestone at the same time, and I've had 4. I've been sitting at 4 for a little while. Um, but that's again collaboration, cooperation, teamwork, all of that. I want to help whoever comes by. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your walk of life is. If there's any way that I can help get rid of this echo, then that's what I want to do. And at the same time, it's a huge help to just click follow on a channel. That does make a difference in our lives as far as what we do on Twitch. I have hit the end of my rambling. I really have. Plus, I'm getting all dry mouthed, and I kind of want to go out and see if the weather has started because we're supposed to get some storms. So I am going to wrap up. I am going to say that I really am going to make every effort to do these at about midnight Eastern time and run till about 3 a.m. Eastern time. I will not be putting that on a schedule for some time, though. My life is not always that regular. And I don't like to put my name on something with a time behind it and a commitment behind it that I don't know that I can make. So I think I've put it in my sorry, I am really getting, but I think I've put it in my channel somewhere in the description. I might have it in the Discord. I have every intention of being on at midnight, Monday through Friday. So if you know somebody or if you just want to come back yourself and just check on things. God, Miz, man, it was 70 today, and this weekend they're talking about highs of around 26. Yeah. Michigan's more bipolar than I am. But again, really, every intention of being on around midnight, Monday through Friday, and just doing this. A couple hours of Among Us, maybe some Super Nintendo, if I can get. I have an emulator, and I don't know how legal that is, but if I can get a capture card at some point. I know I was out in this tea almost all day, working on my yard and cars and moving trailers. But if I can get even a cheap enough capture card to get Super Nintendo in, it's not exactly high resolution, but I don't have that capability right now. So those are the kind of things that I'm looking to. If I move beyond Among Us, I'm never going to be a bleeding edge gamer. It's not who I am. The last time I owned a gaming system was a 360. I played Battlefield 3 so addictively that I had to sell the 360 because I didn't have a life anymore. So this is not going to be a gaming biased channel. I'm using Among Us. Well, I really do enjoy Among Us, but I want to focus on community. And Among Us is kind of cool for that. Like if we got together with 10 or 15 people, Among Us is more of a social game than a game. So I think it fits with the environment that I want to create. Wisconsin, no, you can keep it. See, we're warmer than you are. We get to use the Great Lakes as a hat. We just get the snow. I can deal with snow. I've got a really big snow thrower. I can deal with snow. But yeah, I'm gonna sign off. I've been rattling. Oh, Miz, you love me. I am. I'm gonna sign off and say I will see you tomorrow night. And if I don't, then I hope you all do well. And but I'm looking forward to seeing some of you again. So take care of yourselves.